Florence Court, and we had to vote on which scarecrow was the best from the local schools. And I just saw this one and I was drawn to it. And then I realized why. This is my old tweed jacket with my personalized buttons that I gave to the charity shop a few weeks ago. And it's on the scarecrow. So therefore, this is the winner, I'm afraid. This one. Hey! Really, in all honesty, this one should have won. But I'm a bit biased because the other one had my jacket. Delicious apple. Golden crop. Okay, you guys. So, my inspiration to make for you guys and share with you the Irish Barmbrack recipe is because the other day my new workaway from Sicily in Italy was having tea with my mum in the kitchen, and I was at work. And when I returned back, he was laughing and joking, and he was telling me that when he had a slice of the Barmbrack with my mum over tea, that he found the gold ring. So he proceeded to ask my mum what the meaning of the gold ring was, and she started laughing, and she said to him, it means that you're next to be married, or you will be married within the year. So of course he's in hysterics laughing at this. He doesn't know whether this is true or not, so he waited for me to return and asked me. And of course it is true. It is tradition. So on that note, Scooter decided that he wanted me to share all of this information with you by my side so that you understand fully the Irish Barmbrack. So together, Scooter and I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about the Irish Barmbrack, and then you're going to come with me into the kitchen where Camilla's going to be filming me. Whether or not I'll break down into laughter because of what happened, we shall see. So, the Irish Barmbrack, or otherwise known as a speckled bread, in Irish called Barmbrack, originated from the Celtic festival of Samhain, a tradition of fortune-telling with fruit-studded bread. Items like a ring, a coin, a pea or a stick were baked inside, and the object found in a slice determined a person's future, such as marriage, wealth or hardship. This tradition evolved over time, blending with Christian customs, and the ring is still a common modern day and a fun aspect to making this bread. The origins and the symbolism. The salmon tradition, the Barmbrack, began as a food for Samhain and the ancient Celtic festival making the end of harvest and the start of winter. The fortune-telling, which I could imagine in old Irish times gone by, people sitting round an open turf fire with a loaf of Barmbrack and a cup of tea and telling each other's fortunes over who's finding what in the Barmbrack. I can just see it. Amazing. This bread was used for fortune-telling games. The meaning of the charms baked inside predicted what the year ahead held for the person who found it. So the ring predicted marriage within the year. A coin means wealth or good fortune. A pea meant the person would not marry that year, or a stick signified an unhappy marriage or disputes. A cloth rag inside indicated bad luck or poverty. The speckled bread, the name Barmbrack, translates to speckled loaf, referring to the dried fruit scattered throughout the bread. Evolution and modern practice in the Christian influence as Christianity spread, salmon traditions were absorbed into other holidays, and Barmbrack became a tradition for All Hallows Eve, Halloween, and eventually Christmas cake. The modern Barmbrack. While modern Barmbracks often contain only a ring or coin for safety reasons, the fun of the fortune-telling game remains a cherished part of the traditional Irish jeweller. New Year's Eve tradition. Some regions also have New Year's Eve tradition where a man of the house would take 3 bites from the cake and throw it against the door to ward off poverty, a practice detailed here in Ireland. So my friends, from Scooter and we wish you all a very, very, very happy Halloween. Enjoy the Barmbrack and join me now where I'll show you how to make this super, super easy cake. And hopefully, as Camilla's doing the filming, he's not going to make a disaster of it because I've only got one attempt at making this cake. So, let's go. Okay, you guys, now so for that Irish Barmbrack, let's get started. So let me run through with you what you need, the oven temperature and the ingredients. And what you'll need, this is very simple. A mixing bowl. You need a sieve, a spatula and a wooden spoon. You obviously need your gold ring for inside and a little piece of greaseproof paper to wrap your ring. And Carmela's just told me that hopefully if he finds the ring in this Barmbrack, then it's destiny. We have to find him an Irish husband. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of butter just to grease the inside of the tin. And in our bowls for our ingredients, we have flour. We have 225 grams of plain flour, to which I have added 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I've also added 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. We're going to sieve that all together. In this bowl, we have 125 grams of light, soft brown sugar. And in this bowl here, we have 375 grams of mixed dried fruit. Any fruit of your choice. In here, there is lovely Californian raisins, there is sultanas, there's cherries, there's mixed peel, there's everything mixed in here. And what I did with that yesterday was I soaked the fruit in 250 milliliters of cold, strong Irish tea and 50 mils of whiskey. And I just left that sitting overnight. I covered it with a plate and left it sitting overnight. So all the fruit has plumped up. It's absorbed most of the juice, but the rest of the juice is to mix with the cake. So don't worry about that. So let me tell you your oven temperatures. Your oven temperatures are 170 degrees Celsius, 340 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 3. And into the middle of the oven, this is going to go, and it's going to bake for 1 hour. So firstly, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sieve my flour and my mixed spice and my baking powder all together. I'm going to add in my sugar, and the ingredient I left out because they're sitting here behind me is also you will need 1 egg. But I'm going to do 2 because my eggs for some reason are very small. So 1 large egg or 2 small eggs. I'm using 2 small eggs. Okay, so all we're going to do now is we're going to mix our flour and our sugar together. And then we're going to add into that our mixed fruit. Okay. Scooter's not impressed because he's saying, again, you're making a cake with fruit that I can't eat. So he's not happy. What you will notice about this Barmbrack is it's fatless. So there's no fat going in here. There's no butter, there's no margarine, there's no oil. There's no fat content in this at all. But we're going to add lots of fat when we slice it and we put lashings of butter over the top. Okay, so we're mixing in our fruit into our flour. And then I'm going to crack my 2 eggs. And we're going to give that all a good stir. So remember, you never crack your eggs straight into your mix. You always crack them into a bowl first to make sure that they're okay. And that one is good. And in that goes. Now, have you ever made anything as easy as this, honestly? I spoil you guys. Really, I do. Like, I give you luscious, gorgeous, beautiful cakes with hardly any work at all. It's amazing. Okay, and I'm panicking here because after my last episode of forgetting to put the Guinness into the Guinness cake, I'm making sure that my brain is functioning at the moment. So you'll notice here I did a flower display, and this is just from whatever bits were left in the garden at the moment because everything's starting to finish now. We are at Halloween, so the garden is, well, it's still pretty out there, but all the flowers are fading, and so I thought I'd go around and scramble and catch whatever was left and pop it through. And of course, we've got a nice little display of mini pumpkins. Now, that literally is just incorporated. You do not want to overmix this. You just want it to all come together, like so. And then get your spatula and take off the rest of your goodness off that spoon. Okay. We leave that for whoever's doing the washing up, and it's not me. Now, we're going to butter our tin. So we're just going to take a little bit of butter and we're going to go around the outside of the tin. The inside of the tin, sorry. Just wrap our beautiful gold ring. Scooter has kindly reminded me to keep that ring well away from him, that he's not interested at the moment, that his head is tortured with weddings and plans. Okay, wrap your ring in a little piece of greaseproof paper. Okay, and that's ready when we put in our mix into our tin. So that's going in there now, and what I'm going to do is just put it all in. But anyway, that's for another day. So All that goodness goes into the tin, and then you don't even need to level it because it will level itself in the oven, but I'm just giving it a quick swirl. And again, take more of that off. Okay. And now, the pièce de résistance. The ring goes inside the cake. And because I'm going to be sharing this cake, and Carmela's going to be having some, I'm going to look away as to where the ring is going to be positioned, okay? And I'm going to stick it in with my finger like so. My hands are clean. And now I don't know where the ring went. So I have no idea. Anyway, I shouldn't be looking for a ring. I'm already married. Carmelo, bellissimo, bellissimo. Okay, that is it. How simple was that? This is a traditional Irish Barmbrack at its very best. This is not the yeast one, this is the cake one. Into the oven for 1 hour. I'll stick a skewer in and check it's cooked through. See you a little bit later. Okay, you guys, so our Barmbrack has had 1 hour exactly in the oven, and I've tested it with my skewer. Stick your skewer in, leave it for a couple of seconds, pull it out, and if it comes out clean, then that means your cake is done. So that is done. Now all I'm going to do is my friend at work gave me a jar of delicious homemade marmalade, orange and ginger. It is absolutely incredible. So I have literally put 2 small teaspoons, because it's too precious, 2 small teaspoons into a bowl. I've put it in the microwave and I've heated it up, and I'm literally going to glaze the top of the Barmbrack. This is completely optional. If you don't like marmalade and you prefer apricot jam, you can use that also. I just think it gives the Barmbrack a really nice glaze on top. So once I've got it on there, Carmelo will come a bit closer and he'll show you what it looks like in the tin. And then we leave it in the tin to go slightly cool, maybe 15 minutes or so, and then I'll remove it from the tin and let it go cold completely. Even it's worth wrapping in some greaseproof paper and some tin foil and leaving it for a day or two for all of those lovely tea flavors to infuse. But anyhow, Carmelo, you can come closer and have a look and let everybody see how delicious that looks. And it's not bellissimo, I've been told off, it's buonissimo, buonissimo. Sorry, my Italian friends, I didn't mean to offend anybody, but there you are. Okay, so that's our Irish Barmbrack. Join me later for a slice with some lovely Kerrygold butter in a nice cup of tea. Okay, you guys, time for the all-important truth, a slice of this lovely Irish Barmbrack and a lovely cup of tea. And we're going to, remember I said to you it's a fatless cake, so there's no butter, margarine or oil in there, but this is where it's going to get interesting. Because we added on the outside. So let's cut our first slice and see how we get on. And the next slice. Okay. Unfortunately this time, no ring, Carmelo. Maybe tomorrow. But anyway, let's get on with it. The most important part is the Kerrygold butter goes on the top. But come and have a look, folks, and look at the delicious jeweled fruit through our beautiful speckled Irish Barmbrack. Okay, so let's have a little try now. Check that everything is as it should be. Carmelo buonissimo. All goes down with a lovely cup of Irish tea. Okay, you guys, please do try this Irish Barmbrack. You will love it. and it will last for days. Just wrap it up in a piece of greaseproof paper and a piece of foil and enjoy it and share it with your friends. So until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you very soon. From Nikolai, Chris, Scooter and Carmelo. Thank you, Carmelo, for being so good and filming me. See you later.